Hey, welcome to the channel where I mostly know what I'm doing, at least like 60% of the time. If you're new here, I'm Axel, professional overthinker, part-time button masher, full-time chaotic mess. Anyway, thanks for clicking. Let's attempt to make this worth your time. Here we go. So this was recommended to me. This is, what? I can't solve. What remains of Edith Finch? So we're gonna... yeah, I don't have any save data, so just go in there. Happened to my hand.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Is that the house?
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Wasn't allowed in half the rooms, but you lived there? Oh.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
7 years ago?
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh no. No trespassers. I'm not a trespasser, this is my
mother left
house.
me a key, but didn't tell me that it unlocked. Maybe
Okay.
she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I mean, it did, didn't it? There, upper, go, we'll go. Go up. I guess it's not really up, we'll go down this way too, but there's a tree.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
It's okay. Oh, bye-bye.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Interesting. Okay. That is...
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
That is a unique house. What the... what is that?
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Why? I would have loved to live in a house like
this. As a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
I don't think I've ever been afraid of a house.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Did not.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Creepy. Wait, so you inherited the house, but you don't have a key to the front door? Just go back down there. We go through doggy doors.
Crawling through the
here.
doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
I mean, makes sense. Makes sense.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
And that kind of feels like the opposite of what you were
But
originally
instead of a
saying.
family, there were just memories of one.
Oh my god.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
I mean, that makes sense. Makes sense. Let's go this way.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
That's... You think it's on that, the other side of that. That's a lot of books and terrible way to display them.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Oh wow.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh. Key went to a book.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Book.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Okay. What
From
is
the
it?
paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Gotcha, okay. Because it
Reading
seemed to me
this,
like...
maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Seems to me like someone was locked up in here, but I mean...
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
A bedroom?
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Who's Molly?
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Interesting.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. My Halloween candy was all gone.
No, we can't eat gerbil food. That's not right.
I kept eating and eating.
Do I have to eat the gerbil food? Oh no.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
But she didn't give me dinner.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
What is happening?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired.
Where, I lost the bird. Oh, it's right there. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
That's crazy.
I gobbled
So
her up.
hungry. Oh my goodness.
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
That's crazy.
A mama rabbit.
Huh? Where? Oh. I'm so sorry.
She was almost too big to carry.
I'm so sorry. Oh
I started
God,
choking,
I'm so
but
sorry.
I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
I just gotta. Okay.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean.
Why?
Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Okay.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, there's another. Oh, it's the same one. This one we bit off. Oh, this
Grabbed
poor
on tight.
seal.
I was so
Oh
hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
no. Oh, ew.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
That's kind of cool, but it's also like
I was big, and I moved
nasty.
real quiet.
This is interesting.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. Across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
What do you think the good smell is?
I got closer and closer.
Oh no. Is it... It's not gonna be like the gerbil, right?
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, that was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
That's, quite the imagination.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
So that's where he came.
I can't describe it, but
Oh.
I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Like the monster into the bed, Molly? Oh, the kitty.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Interesting.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she
that's what was out front, and yeah.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
That's a very...
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Yeah, it's something.
Big trace.
Something. Okay, so the key also goes to this.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Man, I miss being in a dark room. Milton. For a second, I was about to read it as Mitten. Don't mind me. Shove the chair. Fort Calvin. Fort Sam. Oh. To command center.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
So what, they just left everybody's room?
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be
French
here,
gonna snap.
but I doubt. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Oh no.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
That's so sad.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
That explains it. So he has stairs that don't go really anywhere.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in his house. What the heck?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
That creeped me out for a second there. I'm not gonna lie.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I
Would
think you just
agree.
need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key,
Took me a minute to figure that out.
but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Okay. Okay.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
That oh dear voice acting. Oh my goodness.
Rick?
Well deserved, Rick.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, we're dead, Walter.
It's all good, we got the crutch.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And there he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
She played her part beautifully.
That was Molly's room.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Okay. I guess we go back in here now. Go the other way.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Because it had Edie's ear in it. Not Edie, Barbara's ear. You know how big this house has to be if just everybody has their
Edie's
room
father
just
Odin
blocked
built
off?
the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
That's smart.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Another doorway.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
Ew.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
This is just daily routine.
Even
Just
a
sit
monster
here, stare at the
on the other
clock,
side of the
open
door
peaches,
starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
pick up the thing that fell, so I can fall again tomorrow.
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
It makes sense.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
Ooh, sledgehammer.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Finally got out just to get
Walter died
hit.
when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
There is,
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
it's a big family. Alright, down we go.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
I mean, that's...
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
I probably wouldn't tell my children they had
don't
an
wanna
uncle
make
who
the
lived
same
under the
mistakes
house
she
either.
made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
It's not really a normal thing.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
What's flashing over there? We're just...
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
It's fine.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Ah.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Oh, I thought it was just on the water. Guess not. Up there?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Tends to happen.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
That's sad.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
That's sad.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, is that what that is?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Was this year before?
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Oh, it's a different side.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
It's so sad.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
We're gonna leave it there this week. We'll come back to
But looking back on it
find
now,
stop. We'll come back to find out more of the Finch's story next week. So you watched the whole video? Either you're really bored, or I tricked you into thinking I know what I'm doing. Either way, thanks for sticking around. You could have clicked literally anything else. Cat videos, conspiracy theories, a 10-hour lo-fi loop, but nope, you chose this. And now we're here. Might as well hit subscribe, right? I'll pretend not to notice if you don't. I'll catch you in the next one, unless I spontaneously combust before then.